Welcome to the magnificent city of Montreal, where 12 of poker's most exciting players have begun their quest for glory, here at the Party Poker Premier League Season 7.
This is not normal poker. This is like fun.
How sick are you in the head?
I love the banter so much.
Punishing poker gods for this call.
I'm 100%.
Wow, you're so sick.
Makes me so mad.
Round two. Let's go.
That's so tilting. Wow.
It's like unreal. Sick.
Wow.
You say I can't win flips? So insane.
That's pretty unlucky, mate.
I knew I couldn't get this limp through.
Yes, I won one versus Phil. Are you kidding me?
No, my mind's just absolutely blown.
Very strange, Vanessa, very strange.
Always level myself against you.
Oh, I play so bad. Don't do this. Don't do this, man.
Shock attack. That was a blow up.
This is like ridiculous.
You brought the monkey out of me because you're such a monkey. Get you a beer if you fall.
Ooh, I call.
That's not a good crowd.
God, this place loves me.
Nicely done, Jeff. Nicely done.
And that's really next level collusion right there.
Nice angle.
Now I can maybe fold.
I think I should not be nice to you.
This is a big one. Boom!
I am in Barney Rubble trouble.
Oh, that's good. I love it.
The money flows free in Montreal.
Premier League stuff is sick, bro.
Made for TV. It's just made for TV.
There is no tournament like the Premier League. A place at the final table awaits the top 4 from the league stage, while the next 4 lock horns heads up for the final 2 spots at the 6-handed table. While the players take a break, here's Jessie May with a reminder of the action so far in Heat 4.
The opening level saw players donating their chips to Esfandiari.
All in. I lost that putt. This could be the payoff wizard right here.
He pulled away as a big chip leader.
You're so hopeless, it's amazing.
Selbst built up her stack.
I hadn't decided about that river yet.
Laak seemed to unravel,
Coming in hot, kid.
but luck saved him when he hit this straight against Seiver's aces. Here's how the chips are looking, and it's Antonio Esfandiari with 666,000. Selbst having a great start too. Then there's a big gap to the rest of the field, and then there's Seiver, battered and bruised but not out. Most of his chips going the way of Phil Laak.
So it was a different Phil that we saw coming into the beginning of this heat, and then all of a sudden the goggles go on and something happens, something changes. What is that?
Well, we always have visual, acoustic, temperature, very homeostatically. There's some interesting things I have to attend to. The trigger point, sensitive, dependent, leaks, ambient ear. You see new truths. It's like the triple point of water. I have temperature leaks. The bottom line is this, reptilian awareness. I have to raise my temperature by 4 degrees, you know. You're like, with total insular power. Bring it on, let's go, I got the shields.
I think Phil is in the Matrix. This is what we're saying.
Reminder of the league standings at the halfway stage. Jeff Gross watching this one from the commentary box, looking nailed on for making the top 8 minimum. Mizzi and Colman could find themselves outperformed and overtaken by the likes of Jungleman, Seiver, and Duhamel. There could be a real switcheroo of places between those players in the top 8. Selbst, Esfandiari, and Laak at the bottom are in action. If they don't score big in this heat, their dreams of lifting the Premier League trophy could be over.
Then it becomes a bad question.
Lines going up now, 3 and 6,000. And Brian, players just taking a break. Vanessa Selbst spent the entirety of this break looking at the point standings and then looking at the chips on the table, trying to find dynamics she can take advantage of. What will she have seen as a dynamic for her to be taking advantage of right now? Does anything jump out at you? What conclusions will she have drawn?
I mean, so Vanessa's got chips now. She's more than willing to,
Look, it keeps changing. Well,
try to really get a good result in this and get some points and move up and kind of secure a heads-up spot. So she's kind of looked at who she can do that with. And, I mean, she's in a pretty good spot. Like, Scott Seiver's pretty handcuffed right now because he's only got 11 points. And so, I mean, he's somebody that doesn't really want to go out with 0 right now.
Yeah, I mean, this heat is just, it's the dead middle. It's really, like, after this heat, everything's going to be pretty clear what's going on. So it'll be interesting to see if it flattens out or if people separate. And that really depends on how Mizzi and Colman finish and how Phil and Vanessa finish. I mean, depending on if they go 1, 2, 3, the bottom stack, the bottom point leaders or the top two. So if they're going to flatten out or be wide open here.
The Miz has raised this. And
20.
Everyone will kind of give him a berth.
There's too many colors for me to do.
Maybe absolutely not even close. This is a really interesting 3-bet by Esfandiari. I mean,
you should check the film.
Does it make sense? Is this the guy he wants to pick on?
This is one of the guys. I mean, Mizzi
really believes that he threw a checker in.
The thing is that, in his opinion, Mizzi has like just over 200K. And Antonio, by raising the 30,000 here, it's not really a great spot for Mizzi to 4-bet. Mizzi's kind of at this stack depth right now where, he's kind of handcuffing Mizzi with the stack size.
If Mizzi misses, Antonio's going to win.
But points-wise, Mizzi is not really handcuffed. Wow, what a beautiful spot.
Joining for Antonio, basically. I mean,
I think my request is fair, by the way.
Super safe.
Yeah, but see, Antonio's not one of the people that, at this point, with his stack size now, it's not like he's under a lot of pressure with his points. He has 5. This is only his second one. He has a ton of chips, so it's not like Mizzi's sitting there going, I can put a lot of pressure on Antonio because, it's a disaster if he bagels. I mean, first, Antonio's got 700,000 chips or whatever.
So Antonio's really just doing this, just to win chips.
This is just, right now, he's thinking win chips. So this is a spot. Maybe Antonio feels like Mizzi is raising a little too late in early position.
All in. Whoa! He said all in.
And this is more not about finding the right answer, but keeping our playing ground.
So Antonio's just playing power poker now. It just
free roll.
Antonio's. Antonio is one of the most quick guys that I've met, just like mental acuity, like picking up on things. I mean, I think he's not one to like study the chart and look at the numbers, but I mean, he lost this bet.
Yeah.
He kind of figured out like, wow, you can put a lot of pressure on people, get people to fold bigger hands because of the points, and I expect with him having a lot of chips that he's just going to apply that.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily study the charts, but I'll tell you what, he is very aware, though. I mean, he knows exactly what people have. Like Vanessa, you see, like her break was studying every little thing, but like he's in the middle. Like he definitely knows what's going on.
He won't study, but he'll make sure that Scott Seiver tells him the answer. I bet he'll just act accordingly.
He's always learning. He's always doing something.
Now, Phil Laak is not scared to stick all these chips in with the ace-king right now. He is
suited, ready.
Phil is fist pump getting this in, and he's going to, Vanessa's going to 3-bet, and he's going to 4-bet this.
And she kind of needs to know that because...
So Vanessa looks at Phil right now as a person who has been playing a lot of hands and someone that she can pick on.
Yeah, she's 3-betting for sure.
I don't think this is smart because, I mean, he might not need a hand as strong as ace-king to shove it in here because gambling is not terrible for Phil right now with 3 points.
I agree with what you're saying, except that I do think that Phil will need a very good hand to get it in. Like he does have 3 points, and he's not just gonna. I think his mindset's not gonna. He wouldn't get in 2 7s here. I don't think.
Nobody believes Phil. Vanessa's value 3-betting.
Okay, so that
the ace-10
Mizzi
offsuit,
might ship it,
and Mizzi wants to 4-bet because she's like Vanessa probably doesn't have that great hand. It's just
and Phil
it's amazing
is just not
how
even in the pot. Right?
Little
credibility
Phil has, and Phil actually has the best hand.
Well, Phil's gonna. How much does Phil have? 270. Yeah,
Phil's gonna bomb it.
I want to hit the Jungleman weighted aesthetic purity of the number that is optimal in this situation.
I mean, look
with
at this guy.
King Rast, Jeff Gross, and the holy revered Antonio Esfandiari, the magician. I want a weighted average. In all arbitrations, I want Scott Seiver to be the one that arbitrates.
Seems fair.
Because he will get the answer correctly.
He's just in his own planet. I mean, this guy's amazing.
If you out Jedi mind tricked me, and you somehow surf the wall in such a pure and balanced thing,
Brian,
if you're out surfing me, you're out surfing me. I can just get back on the board and play one other hand of poker. Go to the beach every day.
He's in, right? This is going in. To Vanessa, it's a 3-bet. Honestly, the small blind 3-bet's as strong.
I just wonder if there's...
Like, it's not like she's on the button.
I like my hand, Vanessa. And I'm going to express that mathematically through this moment by raising this amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's raising to a deuce. That's what he's doing. He's raising, and that's an interesting play, Brian, because
as long as he never folds.
Oh wow, Phil, for once in his life, is raising to induce and not just bombing it.
Yeah. Unbelievable, actually. I love his sizing. I love this. Phil, you're doing it, man. And you got the right player who could bomb it, even though she just doesn't have the right points.
It's interesting.
Right? If Vanessa had like 20 points, she may bomb it. But this is like.
But I'm just thinking it's an interesting thought because if he bombs it, she probably folds the 9s or the 8s. But by raising to induce, he's actually saying that I'm willing to play against those. It's right, isn't it?
Well, Vanessa is a person who has been known to 5-bet shove without the goods, and you know, if she thinks that Phil is going to fold, she could pull the trigger. Although point-wise and everything, it would. If she folds this, she'll be at like 540, which is great. If she puts it in and things go wrong, she goes back to the pack. So this is a big.
For the record, I hear your guys' speech. Never in my life have I ever gone down that vein. Yeah. If I pull it back.
By the way,
I've always
his hand is like
which is what,
7-4.
I mean, she's never calling. No, she's never calling.
Part.
Folding seemed like the prudent play.
Show an 8.
I might have to show you.
Phil Laak playing the game right now.
Phil Laak leaving everybody curious.
Phil Laak made his Premier League debut in Season 4 and stormed the heats, winning 3 on the spin. But crashed in the final.
Don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. I'm the worst.
In Season 5, Laak made the final table once again and finished up with 3rd place.
This is a standard fold. Phil has lost his mind. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. Because I know I can rob you all.
Season 6, Laak was drawn in the same group as long-term partner Jennifer Tilley.
No more cuddling for you, mister.
And didn't make the final table.
Jennifer can still get you.
We're saying fold, 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 fold. Fold, fold.
This season, he's ready and raring.
I'm good. I'm good to go. Out of the gate. Let's go. Premier League. Bring it on.
It's a lot of math. I'd be willing to strategy here. I just need to gamble. I'm down $4,000.
You know, Dan Colman has essentially folded the first 51 hands.
That's a
and
big,
like, he's in brilliant shape. He's in brilliant shape.
Duhamel could have been the same.
That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. That would have been exactly right. 240, 260. And I don't. Has Colman won one hand?
I don't know.
No, I think he opened 8s and they.
I think he has. Yeah, he did win a hand, but essentially he didn't really need to.
Fold. Did Antonio he opened muck ace deuce, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I mean, that's even like, that's probably an open with his stack in the dynamic, but I like the fold. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think, you know what, sometimes this is a thing. I think that in a vacuum with the stack and everything, it's probably an open. But you know what, this is Vanessa's button, and this is something that I've learned over my years is like, sometimes you just like, in the flow of whatever, it's a close spot, it's not really a great hand.
Tell you,
you just give it up to the good player in position and say, like, this one's yours, it's fine, take it, whatever.
This is your time to win the pot. Like, you have second stack, this is your button.
And sometimes when you like follow little rules like this, it just kind of like people. I mean, Antonio doesn't even really want to play like a huge pot with Vanessa either. He'd rather pick on the short stacks too. So you know, because it's not like Antonio has like 20 points and like a massive chip lead. So you know, it's like little things like this that I mean, that's probably why he folded it. Honestly, it's because he could have opened it very easily. It would be defensible, and like I said, probably slightly plus EV in a vacuum. But
now this is a nice little pot for Vanessa, very small, but it's a little bit adventuresome to raise Jungleman's blind. Who's notorious for flatting with the 3
notorious.
I mean, he's not folding, and you have the 4 high off.
If you min raise a Jungleman's big blind, you're playing the flop.
Yeah,
you are playing the flop.
Welcome back to a packed Playground Poker Club here in Montreal, where Heat 4 of the Premier League is picking up pace and the action is living up to expectations. Let's head back to your commentators.
So what's a good result for Laak? Are we saying he needs heads up? I mean, he needs top 2, right? Top 3 keeps him like with the prayer.
He doesn't have top 2. I think if Laak 3.
Top 3, because
I think 3 is a good result for Laak.
If he gets 30, he has 12 points, and then he's a winner.
12 is solid.
Right, so then he could win, still win and be like 26, which is like...
Yeah, but you almost never do. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
You know, like when you need to get top 5 to get in the playoffs.
I mean, I think looking at his
win.
situation right now, I mean, he's kind of in 3rd in chips, but the 2 people have way more than him. I think surfing the short stacks and whatever and coming in 3rd would be a solid result. We keep him squarely on a path to being able to make the heads-up matches. Obviously, doing better than that would be great. But I mean, 3rd is like what he needs to be looking at, like as kind of the minimum. You gotta get 3rd.
4th is like you have to win, and
4th is like you're staying alive, but you're not. You're unhappy.
You're like fighting for 8th.
Yeah. So that's kind of where Phil is going.
It's on you, Phil.
Oh, look at that. Right. I don't know what I have yet. Hold on a second.
And so it's the 10-7, and now he folds it. Sometimes I wonder what is going on in Phil Laak's brain. Like seriously, I don't know what he's thinking half the time when he's playing. Which makes sense because this is what I thought before I could see all his whole cards, and now that I can see his whole cards, I'm still not 100% sure.
It is a real treat, isn't it? I mean, these are some of the best players in the world, and then there's just certain guys that are so interested. You're seeing what they're doing and what's going on, and be able to see the cards in this format and watch the decisions. It really is. I mean, this is awesome.
I mean, these are great players.
This is so much fun.
Phil is wacky.
I've had the pleasure of watching Phil hundreds of hours now, I think. And he is the one guy who, you can watch him for 100 straight hours and you still have no read on his tendencies.
For sure.
I mean, really, none.
You know what? He strikes me sometimes as and I feel this, and I feel like it's been reinforced watching this and commentating. He can be very just moody, almost like if he's in a mood to start gambling and doing crazy stuff, and a mood to kind of tighten up and whatever. And sometimes it's not necessarily dictated. Like today, I can't say there's been any changing conditions that would dictate one or the other for him, really. But he came out obviously saying I'm ready to fire, because he came out just like doing craziness, and then I guess
he doesn't have a game. I mean, he's amorphous.
Oh, wow, Mizzi must have 2 8s, right? Okay, yeah. I mean, there's really no other hands. Mizzi stack.
So,
flat with that.
Not a great card for Mizzi. He's not going to be too happy with the jack.
What a flop, though, for Mizzi. He loves
again,
that flop. He thinks he has the best hand almost all the time.
But if Vanessa bets again, it's going to be a tough spot. If she checks, Mizzi might like his hand, but...
I like this check by Vanessa. I also like this.
You like it because it keeps in the hands she beats? Is that why you like it?
Yep. Very strong. I mean, the jack's relatively a brick, I think.
I kind of like a check back by Mizzi here.
By the way, Vanessa has Mizzi on, I believe, 7s, 8s, or 10s. That's like what she thinks he has, I think.
Yeah. Or like, 5s through 5s.
I don't think he's flatting 5s with his stack against her.
So she's going to value bet this river then.
Even though it's similar to 7s.
Get that street of value on the river. Even with this hand, she's value bet the river.
I kind of like a value bet by her here. I think if she had ace-queen, ace-10, like ace-8, she might bluff some of those hands. Right. And so I think it's very, she needs to kind of merge that bluffing range with a lighter value range that includes like maybe, as good as queen-9. This is about the worst hand she should value.
And Mizzi does not have king-queen. Mizzi does not have ace-king. So like the king is just a stone brick. Like his hands kind of face up.
In my opinion, this is the spot where you really see great players make the thin value bets. And so Vanessa's showing her hand-reading ability here by this value bet. So I was glad. I was predicting she would do it. I'm really glad she did. Vanessa's high estimation of her for making this value bet.
That's even smaller than I thought.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Right, she's even made it a size where she can give him some options about being a little silly and all kinds of things.
It's very hard to see Mizzi raising here because I have no idea what he's repping.
So he's saying to himself, it's such an obvious, like, thin value bet that I really just
maybe I can fold.
Yeah.
Even you know,
if she was
only need to be
bluffing in his
20%.
mind, if he's bluffing, she makes it slightly bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very astute fold by Mizzi. Mizzi has actually also in these last 2 days I've commentated played very well post flop in a lot of spots with just his ability to release when he's beat and get value out of his hands. Like he's been very strong with that, which is I'd say the majority of it.
We're raising the stakes.
Right now, this heat is middling a lot of things. I mean, Colman and Mizzi are kind of going to drop down. If it ended now, they'd be dropping back down to the middle. Seiver have a bad result, kind of stay in the middle, slip down a bit. I mean, Selbst would shoot up. Antonio's going to shoot up. Phil's shooting up a little bit. You know, I mean, this is very middling heat right now.
Yeah,
actually, very good for you, Jeff.
Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted.
I actually think,
and not what I wanted.
Mizzi's probably the guy on the table who can most benefit from just getting a 6th here. 3 points for him.
We need jungle.
He'll have 24 through 3. I mean, I think that'd be job done.
No,
the bagel here maybe not.
Anyways. I don't want to
3
pick it up
points,
too high.
he's there.
I want to do
I think right now Mizzi's thinking just slide my way up a few spots and see what happens after I lock up 3 points. You know, I agree with that.
Online, but you won't play 500 point live.
That's why he's rich
So
and we're
this
not.
is
Exactly.
Selbst with the early open and Antonio with the defense.
Antonio might lead this turn here.
People are like, if I'm playing 300, 600 for someone, they're in trouble. No, but they're in more trouble than usual.
He goes, if I'm playing 300, 600 versus someone, it means that person's in trouble. I'd only play them if they're in trouble.
He has Jack High, almost definitely the worst hand. He's hoping to get,
But they're in
serious trouble.
He has a lot of outs if he gets called, so
they're like, we're all the
this is pretty standard play.
Will you play Scott 300, 600?
If I'm Vanessa here, you're kind of in a tough spot. I mean, you almost like having ace-9 a little bit more than like ace-king, because you got a gutter here. But unfortunately, against Antonio's exact hand, it's worse because a 7 is a terrible card for her.
Full stack, yeah?
She has no idea.
I'm not sure.
I mean, how many chips will she lose if the 7 ball pops?
Depends on how Antonio plays it. But. Wow, so Vanessa has the best hand.
She's actually probably going to win this pot most of the time. I mean, even like Jack Queen misses. There's hands that miss.
No, switch him.
The King Diamond. There's hands she beats, and she knows that.
5%.
So Antonio, there's a very good chance that he bluffs this river.
Today. He's down to the big
Because he just can't win if he doesn't. And it's one of, I mean, basically Jack 9 and Queen Jack are two of the only hands. You know, I mean, if you're going to bluff this river, it's two of the hands to bluff it with. So, I mean, it's one of those ones.
Who do you think would win it?
He doesn't love it. He's a little worried he's going to get called, but you almost feel obligated to bluff she's got all these hands.
I think she's going to call.
You have his side?
Oh, wow. I didn't see that coming.
Wait. You tap his side.
I actually,
What?
I feel like this is. I feel like Antonio maybe should have gone a little bigger. She might almost feel priced into call here.
Yeah, I think she's going to find a call here.
I know Antonio's thinking, and maybe this will work. Let's see his intuition. But he's thinking a small bet, like I'm repping like a 6 or an 8.
Jungle wonders why.
I know that's what he's thinking, but the flip side is he is giving her a great price.
There's a bunch of hands she beats, but she.
Wow, she let it go. So Antonio's intuition is good. I mean, this is why he's the kid.
He leveled her.
Yeah. So he was repping. I mean, he wanted his bet to be consistent with like a mid pair. Just trying to get value out of like ace high or something, and it worked.
This man levels wizards for a living.
He is, Antonio. Is strong.
He is strong.
It's a little higher skill because then that way you get all the stacks.
I kind of thought she was going to call.
I thought she was going to call. I would have bet call.
It's one of those things where it's exploitable like you fold, isn't it? What were you saying? You weave the math.
Yeah, weave the math in there.
No bet if Ike plays for me.
No bet in what? I can't.
It's okay though, Vanessa.
Like while I'm
small
playing,
pot. She comes back ready to go again. 2 7s.
Well, that was like
I tried to play for you.
Well, he can't like, give you the ranges of like shoving pre-flopping.
One player to a hand. I understand how it works. You don't have to be like more specific. I know what it means.
I can't be watching you tell you what to do.
One player to a hand, and that one player must be me. There are no loopholes.
For the record, I've like murdered Scott heads up.
Coleman, been quiet.
Yes, it's like.
For the record, Jungleman has murdered Scott Seiver heads up. That has been claimed.
That is on the. That is now on the record. That is now on the record.
No,
Great flop
It's
for
official.
And I murdered your boy, so it all evens out.
So Colman, who's played really tight, decides to defend an under-the-gun open from the big blind with the 10-9 offsuit. A little out of character. I'm not really sure what's going on.
I do not expect him to be check giving up, just based on the fact you do.
He'd 7-bet 14,000.
I mean,
might be right. Okay, yeah, I guess he is.
I mean, the flop is just nothing for him, so it's kind of hard for him to do anything. But
It's kind of funny that
His business, his game plan's not reverse flow Vanessa out of position she raised
So
under
why
the
did he
gun.
call in the first place?
I mean, he's
Yeah,
hoping
I
to hit
think
a
it's a bad
straight or
call.
two pair. It's not a good flop. I mean,
Makes
he's
sense.
just trying to
Clearly,
literally
features
gin
the
the
best,
flop
like second
and
and
hit
third.
it big. There's open end draws. But Vanessa also knows what kind of like range. I mean, it's just I just don't like it.
I don't know. He had his plan, and I think it's a boredom thing. He's had his plan. It's been 58 hands. He's played 2 of them, and he's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm getting this is a min raise. It's my big blind. Let's see a flop.
Vanessa. He
I'm
knows.
tired of not seeing flops.
Last call for David Alexander G for 5-5. Last call, David Alexander G for 5-5. Colman for 5-5. Colman.
Jungleman
One
limps.
raise 15,000.
No, sorry, 15.
Jungleman opens. He has been playing pretty tight. One of the tightest
snug.
people today, actually, at least as far as number of hands played. So let's see what happens. So far, it's been a bunch of doo-doo behind him, so no one's been too interested. Oh.
Wow, Esfandiari, he must feel like he just knows the jungle so well, because every time the jungle sticks chips in pots, Antonio's like, I want to play him, man.
Well, Antonio might be trying to get a read, and maybe he got one.
This is one where I think he went with a little more mice. It's like, yeah, he's trying to go with one, but he just decided to give it up.
There's a couple of the players, high-stakes players, who have told me that they think Jungleman gives off an abundance of lines.
Vanessa may put them all in here. Have you
noticed that?
Yeah, but forget that.
How many chips? Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Jungleman only min raised, so she was getting over 4 to 5 to 1 to just call.
She's gonna call it. So if you were a little shorter, she'd put pressure. It's kind of a weird
so
stack sizing. Yeah, she's just gonna call there.
6-7 check, 1 check.
Kind of an uneventful flop. It's gonna not probably be a big pot here.
He does have a habit for sort of giving up, you know, these kind of spots where people bet at him.
That's Jungleman's very content to just see whatever.
Vanessa's not the kind of player that would bluff here, I don't think. It just
she has 7, so she's not thinking bluff. I mean, I don't think she's thinking she can get many better hands than hers to fold.
Yeah, well,
so if it got checked all the way to the river.
Maybe what she hoping calls with king, queen, or like two 6s or 4s.
So if this bet's very, so this is, I mean, it looks like kind of almost a blocking bet.
Oh no, I have a pair.
Jungleman looks confused by her bet.
No, it was her declaration. She said 2 pair, and he didn't know if it was a question or a statement.
You have 7?
Can't say I love Vanessa's bet. I think there's not value really to be had
A
there.
little too quick for me to be happy.
No, I'm done. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, small pop, but don't think that.
But you know what? I mean, Vanessa. I do like the fact she likes to go for thin value, and I think a lot of players miss out. And you know that one was a little too thin, but I mean there was another hand I liked her value bet not that long ago. Forget what that one was. We were talking
Queen
about
9.
The Queen 9. That's right. Very good bet, I think.
Fold.
Oh, Duhamel folding the King 10. Discipline. Oh, he would have ran into a problem because Antonio has 6s and a ton of chips.
C5 raise 14,000. Fold.
So Antonio with a solid hand. Ooh, Vanessa's button. She looks interested.
She is interested, and she will be likely.
I think she'll just call here. Yeah. I mean, we just said, you know, in position, she's probably going to call. She's probably not going to 3-betting a lot, trying to play huge pots here against the one guy that can really cripple her.
Don't do it, The Miz.
He's not. Miz has got. He knows. He's going for points right now. The Miz is content.
And Jungleman happy to get a good price.
Oh yeah,
at
this is
10-9.
very good spot for Jungle. By the way, Vanessa with the ace-3 off, probably 3 bets or folds, but the ace-3 suited, yeah, she's gonna take a flop happily.
Oh, wow.
Not the worst flop.
Wow. Okay, so Vanessa loves that flop, but Antonio is probably going to bet. I mean, he likes c-betting. He's got
he probably thinks
sixes
he has the best
with
hand
2 5. He thinks he has the best hand a lot.
It's funny, this is one of those spots where Scott Seiver kind of checks, right? I mean,
depending. I think this exact flop he would even bet, but
I think
he's Antonio's a little curious what Vanessa's flatting with.
You know what? If I'm Vanessa here, I actually like kind of raising. I'm almost willing to just go to war here and just all in and just play for this heat with this hand right now. I just think a raise picks up the pot often enough. I mean, there's 80K out there, and you know what? If you get unlucky and Antonio happens to have a big hand,
I think she's going to make it 65 or flat, but I think she might opt to raise, yeah.
I like a raise. I'm going to go out and say that's what I think the best play is, regardless of what she does. And
yeah, 65K is the number, the exact what she should. And also, she's repping like she flatted a big pair.
I'm going to go with I like a little bigger. I'm going to go with like 74.
64.
How much better does her spot on the table get if she doubles to Antonio?
You want to bet who's closer?
50-50
if she raises 65 or 74?
I don't want to bet what she's going to do.
65.
Oh, damn.
68.
Did she split us?
68.
7 raise, 68,000 total.
A little closer.
Yeah. A little closer.
She actually was doing 65, and then she decided to put a little more thought. You know?
I mean, I think Antonio's going to let this go.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing in his mind is Vanessa having 3-bet her light before, and he was curious. But, I mean, this is just a spot where Antonio just can't, nothing much good can happen for him on the turn.
If she was shallower, he might, I mean, he could put in a raise to like 140 here and test her out. I mean, she happens to have like.
Why would she be having nothing here? Jungleman was behind her. What could she? Could she just have airballed this?
It's possible, and I don't hate it.
I actually don't. I don't think Antonio is going to put her on queens, kings, or aces because that reason that the Jungleman would call too. I don't think she's going to want to go 3-way.
So she could be having like the 8s or the 9s here, which is slightly vulnerable type of thing, or.
Wow, we're going to get.
Yeah. No. I don't think she raises 8s or 9s. I mean, she's kind of got repping like a set of deuces or 5s, or like a big flush draw or something like that.
Oh, almost the gin card for her. But
yeah, the 4s
would have been the
best
super
card
gin.
in the deck.
4 of hearts, 4 of spades.
5 check.
Good card for Antonio too.
Antonio might get a little sticky with that one if she decides to bet again. But you know what? I think there's a good chance on that card Selbst is gonna. I think she might take a free one here. I think she's a little worried if she bets and Antonio decides to put her all in and she's can't really call. So yeah, she checks it back. I think that's the right play.
Wow, Antonio.
He just wins.
Antonio just
wins.
He's got the right instincts.
Felt like a really. It felt like the kind of call on the flop where he was not going to be getting that money back very often.
He's just going to win. She may check fast. Yeah.
7 check.
She's going to be sick about this.
Yeah, she does not like his call.
You know, I don't hate Antonio's call. I mean, here's the thing. Vanessa's, it's tough, and there's not much that can work out for him, but the thing is, her range is really polarized there to being like set of deuces, 5s, or like big flush draws. Right. So when no diamond comes, I mean, Antonio's hand's good a lot.
The board ran out amazing, too.
It's
a super safe board for him.
Esfandiari is powering through this table. He's extended his lead to well over 800,000, and the others can only look up at his mountain of chips and wonder how they'll climb Everest.
Antonio Esfandiari probably has the most confidence of anyone in Premier League, coming off the one-drop victory and just the year he's had. He's just playing great, and he knows it, and very dangerous.
He's a smart guy. He's hungry. But I love bluffing him too.
Wow, you're so sick. He's fearless and aggressive and takes it to everybody, friends and enemies.
Antonio's a great player. He loves to take his spot.
Oh, one time, can I get there?
He really likes to mix it up. He likes to add a lot of random aggression, and I think when you're playing a game with Antonio, it definitely drives the action a little bit.
Oh, he plays so bad. Antonio's a fish. He's absolute dead money, stands no chance to win this thing. I'm kidding. He's
He's tough. Antonio's the man.
Are you kidding me?
I'm sure he's dying to win a Premier League. He's going to be ready to go for it.
The Party Poker Premier League continues as a competition for points here, and Heat 4 gets interesting. We don't want to miss the action, so let's get back to the table.
Esfandiari is the only player to have a game in hand at this stage of the Premier League, and he's on course to really use that to his advantage. A win here, and he'll have a major jump up the table and be back in contention for a top 4 place. The pressure is on for Selbst and Laak. They need points in this match to get themselves out of the doldrums.
You gotta say, whatever.
C3 raised 14,000.
Hard to make a set.
Fold. Fold.
Just so mad.
What'd you say?
Just so mad.
I just missed like every 15-out draw that I've played this whole Premier League.
Uh-oh, Vanessa's starting to complain a little. She's frustrated.
Just like, he's calling me down.
Oh,
how bad do I run that he actually has 6s when you have 10-9 and you just 4-bet the flop?
Whoa, whoa! Really, Vanessa? Come on, things are going well.
What did she say?
I don't know, but she's tilted.
Fold.
Wow, Phil just can't help himself.
Actually had a hand.
Under the gun, Queen 8 suited. Gotta raise it up.
That's wrong. This is wrong, Phil. But you know what? That's like Vanessa, who's one of the best in the world.
I think it was
get frustrated.
game flow. No, I think this was game flow.
That's what
from
she
Phil.
expects to
You know,
win.
Esfandiari just won a big pot. He's going to take one off. Vanessa's tilted up. She's going to take one off.
Well, I mean,
I think he's just coming in here.
Antonio, yeah, it could be a game flow. You know, I've opened one before in that exact spot. Yeah, almost got me in trouble on day one. I mean, there was a hand I opened like King 4 suited or something, just because I think you had just won a big pot, Jeff, and like you were talking with someone, and then saw this commotion was going on, so it was like, oh, open this right
after when Seiver busted?
I think that's
no, it's the one where Antonio got all in and I chopped it with him.
20s or 10s.
He defended the big blind with King
You
Jack.
want to know when we start?
I normally wouldn't have opened it, but
Yeah.
It's actually, I think it's a big part of Phil's. I mean, I think it's one of the things that Phil
Did Mizzi
pays attention to.
Did Mizzi go all in? No.
I think Miz just flatted here, and I mean,
pre-flop,
he probably flatted, but you know, he does not want to get his
Bill's
chips
trying to
in.
decide what to do. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of awkward. I mean, it's the ace queen. The hand plays so it just doesn't play that well. I don't even love Mizzi flatting, but I guess he wants to play against Phil.
All
I
in
don't hate it.
should be a consideration.
I think he should have probably shipped it.
All in should be
with 142K.
Phil can't ship 300 in the 45 though.
No, he doesn't. Mizzi only has 140.
It really should, because Mizzi, like, if Mizzi has 10s even, I mean,
yeah, you're right.
It's
Mizzi will.
He actually,
I think Phil's thinking about shoving, which I don't hate, but I'm just really surprised Mizzi didn't shove pre-flop. I actually think it's kind of bad.
I think it's bad. I think he should have the 3-bet gone with it probably.
I just think ship it. I mean, Mizzi's got 142. Phil opens with 12. Just put it in. There's over 30K in the middle. And I mean, honestly, Phil's been playing enough hands that with ace queen in that spot, like I'm happy.
Phil's been quiet this level. He has not played one hand.
Does Mizzi have a set here often enough to make shipping really bad?
This is definitely an awkward board. Mizzi flatted. Like, what does Phil think Mizzi's flatting? Probably like 8s, 9s. Oh, he has an 8,
yeah,
so like 9s, 10.
Huge.
He essentially shipped.
Jungle, would you approve of that play?
Don't answer. It's gonna win.
So Phil's trying to bet enough so that
he 2x'd it.
Could be, right?
He's just betting enough so that he has to call.
Phil, you're the best. You should rewrite poker, Phil, you know?
He is with every
Antonio with the little needle with the bet sizes.
But like not be that bad with whatever certain hands.
Phil in third, but just overstarting.
Considering how things have gone, things are going pretty well if you're Phil Laak.
Yeah, I mean, so that was just to break that hand down a bit for people. I mean, the thing is that you could see the percentages, and Sorel after the flop was like 62%, and Phil was like 38 or whatever. And so it's like, why does Phil bet so big and Mizzi just snap folds his hand? Now, the thing is that that's like not a good board for ace queen. I mean, it's a connected low board. Phil at least has sort of the luxury of knowing that with an 8 in his hand, no matter what, even if he's called, he's kind of drawing to the nuts straight, sort of.
Fold.
Colman going for a light one.
It's me. It's my turn. You guys, wow.
And I think
he gets Daniel Jungleman to fold the ace jack, because that's how Colman. Those are the few hands he's going to get, like ace jack offs and hands that fold like that. Ace 10s are going to fold to him.
12,000.
Now Laak, who doesn't seem to mind that Coleman's been playing.
Was that a ship from Duhamel? No? Not against Colman, perhaps?
Yeah, I think because Coleman's been playing tight enough. I think if somebody like Selbst had opened that, or...
Oh, jeez. Oh, Phil almost hit that. But that's a very good flop for Colman.
Seat 4 check.
Duhamel frustrating there. He could actually hit a king or queen and gone with it, and no one had anything.
And Coleman's checked behind.
Wow, interesting check behind by Colman.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I would have bet.
That's pot control, but why would you do that against
There's really no good cards, right? Like, 9, 10, any like big cards come out, you don't know where you're at.
Just kind of give it a free card.
He happened to get one of the best cards, a 6, a 4,
7 of hearts,
7, and it's like the nut card. Now you can actually almost like just confidently bet, and maybe like a card draw calls you.
And how does Phil Laak think about this? Yeah.
Phil is going to think about calling with 3s here. Yeah,
and I think
they're just not thinking.
Then yes, if that's what you mean by thinking.
He thinks fast.
Yeah.
Come on, he does think fast.
And there we go.
And Phil's going to check. This will go check. Colman.
Duhamel, a look of frustration and puffed out cheeks. He's pretty sure he would have won now.
Yeah,
the king.
Yeah,
that went worse. Literally board ran out. It was unbelievable.
The question is whether or not Colman's going to value bet his hand.
He might, just because he doesn't want to show he's opening the 8-6.
Was it still on Phil? Is he thinking?
Yeah. Now he's going to get it. This definitely tank checking here is going to get Colman to check back, I believe. It's going to go check almost all the time. But
I think
Phil could.
But don't you think he would have been better investing this thinking time on the turn rather than the river?
I think so.
I could see Phil value bet blocking like 20.
I can't really see a value bet block.
No, I'm sorry, not value bet. Like he might block the bet, like just because he's like, wow, if he has I don't want him to like. He doesn't want Colman to bet like 45,000. Like if he bets like 26.
Sorry, I did not know that was true.
I kept looking at it for so long.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was waiting for him.
This is a trick. I think this is a trick.
One pair.
By the way.
Oh wow, you called it, Jeff.
Yeah. By the way, Phil, I love Phil, and I wouldn't even call this an angle, and I've done this sometimes in spots like this. I believe Phil knew 100% it was on him, and I'm not saying he's being on that. Like he literally took a while, and then he's like, "Oh, I thought he checked," and buys the time. I swear, like I would bet, I would give 4 to 1 that Phil knew it was on him.
If when Phil says I didn't know what was going on, if the line is how much did he or did we know what was going on?
He knew exactly.
You always want to say that
in general, in that situation, I would bet that Phil knows more about what's going on than he's saying.
Yes. Phil was praying for a check behind, and he wins with like 8-3. So that's what he wanted.
63 hands and blinds up to 4 and 8,000 now, and obviously Colman only 13%. We know that's going to change starting now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, is it the... Oh, it's the Colman.
Yeah, it's the Colman.
It's Colman's round. And he actually even segued in with the last hand of the 3-6, just warming up.
He's ready to go now.
Ready.
He's actually done that a couple times.
But this could actually...
a couple hands before.
It could work against him, showing the 6-8. Like, he's had the perfect tight image going, and now he had to show down the 8-6, like, min rate, whatever.
Whatever. Colman doesn't care about image.
No, for sure.
There's going to come an interesting point in the next heat. I think... For the people, we can talk about it later. Oh, and here, this is Colman. Even if he wasn't getting more active now, he'd be getting more active.
Yeah, Colman with the ace queen. Just raised it up with 8-6 suited last hand, won and had to show it down. Now opens again with ace queen. Mizzi with aces. These two have a lot of history. Mizzi, almost definitely going to 125. I guess he's just all in.
Raise all in.
Now, why would you do that rather than raise to induce?
Yeah, so the reason is because once Colman raises to 16K, there's almost no hand that he's like 3-betting there for less. So he's just shoving with his whole range.
Okay.
So it's a way to balance your range. Duhamel saved there with the 8s because he would have reshipped on anyone if they had opened.
Well, it may actually be a clear fold based on
123,000.
Oh, no, he actually
No, he
covers
has a lot
Mizzi
of
by a lot.
points.
Sorry, he covers Mizzi.
He covers
by a
Mizzi,
lot.
and he has a lot of points. So,
and knocking out Mizzi is actually quite good for him because Mizzi has 1 more point than him.
Ace King he's calling. Obviously, I think he's gonna. He could find a fold here. the 4-8 blinds. How many blinds then? He's got.
He's got 15 blinds.
It's kind of interesting to think about
This would be a pretty sick fold.
I think he's folding.
What do you feel like Mizzi's shoving range is here? I mean,
it's pairs or ace king.
I don't know that.
I think he shoves it.
Ace jack. Maybe.
Ace queen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a fold.
But I mean, when you say pairs, I mean, he might be fold. Is he shoving 7s and 8s here, Sorel? I mean, is he?
He'll shove 8s.
Really? He's got 100.
By the way, the answer is
15
fold.
big.
If Dan really thinks about it, it's a fold. But like, I think, even though I think he's gonna fold.
I mean, Dan's shown that he's willing to think about it, and he comes up with the right play a lot.
Seiver and Duhamel are short. He knows any points are big. This is a fold.
Yeah.
Fold.
That's really one of the reasons Dan's so good is he's willing to make edgy plays and not get trapped by big hands.
Mizzi really kind of got unlucky not to get the 8 sack.
So, by the way, an interesting play I think for Mizzi there is flatting. I love that.
Well, you see the 2 pocket pairs behind, but that is the reason you should do it.
I've made that play a bunch in tournaments with aces because, I mean, I'm a person that flats some, like with other hands. So, I mean, it doesn't really give away the strength of my hand.
Even though the only reason I say it just looks fishy. If he has like, what do you have, like 120 to flat 16? I mean, it's kind of maybe too fishy. I think
doesn't it look a little bit like he just didn't want to commit with a middle pair, but needed to see?
I think the right answer is shove based on everything, just because.
I would probably shove, but there are people I would flat with about that stack size.
If he had a little more, he could have. If he had more chips, but he just didn't have enough.
That's the best hand.
Bet 17,000. Fold. Fold.
Vanessa deciding to really open it up.
Yes, this is opinionated, and Jungleman gave her the king-queen slide.
Jungleman has been playing very tight. I mean, and I think every time he's folded it, for what it's worth, it's been the best hand. And now Laak thinking about the ace-9.
He's folding, right? I hope he doesn't call. He's going to fold or raise, and I think fold is his answer. Calling is just like...
Well, I mean, how zoned in is he on the dynamics right now?
He's saying, I have 3 points. Help me. He's just like, please, people, start getting knocked out. He wants to see Seiver and Duhamel go, and then I think he'll see him.
Oh, boy. Oh, this is a big hand.
Yeah.
17,000 call.
Something interesting could happen here.
It's the Colman. We've gotten to level Colman. Now he's just going to play poker. He waited around for this level. And wow, this is a total nothing for Vanessa, and quite a good flop for Colman with top pair. So, I mean, I expect Vanessa to fire a bet here.
Yeah, she's repping up. She's under the gun. She's gonna bet.
But it will not work. Coleman is
She's just getting called.
Yeah.
Not check raise.
That is 19,000.
So many good turns, like the heart, the
19,000
6,
call.
6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, she is calling, hoping for low cards. Doesn't put her on the jack 3, that's for sure.
Coleman's timing there a little fast. I'd actually put Coleman about the hand he had based on the way.
Hello.
One of the few action cards in the deck.
Yeah, very action card. Very good chance she barrels this, and I mean Coleman now will call again with top pair and a gutter.
I think she's normally barreling in this exact dynamic. She could take a free one because she knows if she hits a diamond. It's pretty obvious to her that, first of all, the 6-7 gets there, which it probably doesn't necessarily think he has that, but like he has something.
But yeah, a lot of like 5-6s, 5-7s. I actually like checking back here
for sure, especially in this format, this dynamic, everything. But Vanessa's not a check back player.
She really isn't.
Well, we'll find out. She did with Antonio, although that pot was a lot bigger.
Well, this actually, you know what? Interesting enough with the diamond flush draw, diamond whatever, she may think I think that's in the back of her head that she didn't bet the turn there. She's gonna do it.
That is 33,000.
She's been barreling for like 50 years.
How many chips does? Oh, are those Antonio's chips? I was like, I thought Colman had like 600,000. What did I miss?
She's made this big enough where Colman.
I mean, it's small enough. Coleman's going to feel great calling this.
Okay. I don't think Colman feels great based on his stack and what's going on. He doesn't want to play pots like this, but he's forced to.
No, what I was going to say is if the bet was a lot bigger, like it was 90K in the pot, if she had bet more like 2/3 pot, like 60,
could go away.
It would be very awkward.
33,000.
I mean, 33K.
He's not. This isn't an act. Like if she were to pick up, I mean, he literally is like kind of uncomfortable. He looks like he has a 9-10 or something like that.
Wow, an ace. Now this is a card Vanessa could
and see,
think
this
about
is where I don't. Coleman's timing, right? He's like he snap checks. It's like I have a 9. Please don't bet. Like if he takes if he were to do a Phil Laak, and tank and like, oh, I don't, and then like whatever. But now it's like Vanessa's gonna feel obligated to rep this. I think Vanessa is not a jack high check back under the gun raiser.
What is the bet size that's going to give her the most problems?
She's betting like 90-some thousand.
Yeah, like if she bluffs, she'll bet about 90 or 100K. But it's kind of a tough spot because this is one of those spots where Colman has sort of faced up his hand, and he knows it, and Vanessa knows it. So it almost becomes a game of chicken because it's like, well, I mean, it's pretty obvious you got like a 9 or something like that, and
this is wild. You know what?
Colman knows that she knows that though, so it's definitely a spot where he thinks she might bluff.
Well, in that case, can't she kind of polarize things by even making it bigger?
It's harder for her to bluff Colman.
Like merge her, you know what they're saying.
Oh man, it's harder for her to bluff him though because he has so many points.
Yeah,
he has 20 points. This is
he's not gonna fold because of points. That's for sure.
68,000.
He knows the answer.
Yeah, he had it figured out.
He's calling.
Yeah, it looks like he is.
You're good. You got it. Yeah.
Nice call. That's
big sigh from Vanessa, and this will change things. Step forward, Colman. Vanessa now goes to zone 2, and it was a jack 3 suited under the gun.
Huge pot for me.
Yeah, that was huge. I was rooting for a fold.
I mean, Vanessa like winning or getting second in this would have been a lot of pressure because she's.
I mean, not to say it can't happen. She is in second.
No. But I mean, she's tied with me right now. She's played 2 heats. She's got 6 points. So
she's still in 3rd place. But at the end of the day, Brian, were the dynamics right for her to raise the jack 3 suited under the gun?
I mean. I don't think so.
Was it a step too far?
I think it's a step too far.
It's
the hand's just too not good. It's too bad of a hand. And I mean, sure, I know what she's thinking. Like, this is a spot where I'm in position on Antonio, whatever. But she's in position on Antonio a lot, and I mean, some of the short stacks are still going to shove on her.
Look at her. She is distraught. I mean, the sick part is she opts not to bet the ace-3 of diamonds, and her hand's so big there, but like it runs out poorly. Antonio somehow wins that pot, and then she bets the jack-3 where she could have taken a free one.
Yeah.
And so basically the worst-case scenario, and it's just you could chalk that up to how the board ran out. I mean, she got pretty unlucky. I mean, she could have banked the diamond there. Could have been a 7 of diamonds. Maybe she wins a huge pot. But it was an unfortunate run out, and she's just the kind of player like a Jungleman who's just going to bet when he has jack high on the river and that kind of dynamic. She's just going to bet because she knows she has to bet.
The worst thing for her is she now has to sit so tight. She's going to hate life right now. She is really going to hate life. Well,
yeah, she's kind of you can't really make the plays that she has been making. Although I mean, she's kind of go back to a little bit more solid play. But I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. Then you get top pair weak kicker against Antonio Esfandiari.
I mean, I can't. Antonio's gonna have to put on a lot of pressure to win this pot. My guess is with 6, like he's not.
I think he might even take a free one. This is Vanessa Selbst. This is flatting range, Queen 10, Jack 10, 9 10. Like he's just hoping to hit a 6. Like he's over this hand.
Her head's kind of spinning right now, Vanessa.
And actually, she probably thinks she's stronger by checking. That's throwing up a little bit of caution.
No, I think what she's thinking is maybe I can either get a delayed c-bet or
now she knows she's good. I don't think she loved it. I mean, she likes the flop. I don't think she loves it. I'll tell you that right now. Look at that. She's
just pot control there, right?
She just cannot to win the flop. Antonio kind of giving a look like, oh, I have queens or 10s. So he's acting like I'm lucky and I lost the minimum.
I do not like the way Vanessa played that pot. I think she should have bet on the.
At least
I think after Antonio checks back, King 8 is almost always good on a 4.
We're back for more from the Playground Poker Club in Montreal after the break.
Very strange, Vanessa. Very strange.
What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Premier League Poker Playground Poker Club here in Montreal. It's a $100,000 guarantee going on in the background and a $125,000 buy-in front.
Bet is all in.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Seiver with the very disappointed
found kings.
Putting kings.
I think 72.
This is how they do it. This Seiver's just the guy that does it. You know, he's drawing dead.
Yo, let's not speak too fast. I mean, he is covering the suits.
74,000.
Don't speak ill of the dead.
You know what I'm saying? What a spot, though.
Antonio is going to call this.
Yep. To less than 10
he has
big
a
blinds,
ton
he's got
of
all
chips.
the chips. And these are the kind of things that
Call
are unavoidable,
74.
and it's like awkward, and all of a sudden Antonio doesn't even want these spots. He likes to pick up the little pots, no problem, have the premium.
Selbst in a tough spot.
Is it?
She could. Wow, this is awkward. Awkward spot.
Very awkward,
Like,
yeah.
You can't really flat, but like raising doesn't seem right either. She doesn't want to give Seiver the protection either.
Well,
So,
I mean, Antonio said he has a pretty good hand, so I don't know. I mean, the thing is
I'm
that
rooting for a Duhamel comeback.
Does Antonio flat with all the hands
yes,
he calls with?
I believe he's flatting 100%. So
flatting aces, kings.
But I mean, down to sevens or whatever. So you know, it's a spot where
and Seiver
Vanessa knows
Vanessa's
he has
going
a
to
hand.
fold. She's folding.
And she kind of needs
She's
Antonio
folding.
to knock Scott out.
Honestly, I think she folds 95 out of 100, and her head's spinning.
But what's the right
going on.
play? What's the right play
Fold
here?
with him flatting and Seiver all in short. I mean, even let's say Seiver shoves ace jack and Antonio flats with nines, or let's say, I mean, if to shove to get Antonio to fold, I mean it's risky, and then she gives him like protection. I just think she's going to figure out the right answer is fold. Ace queen suited, she may just say I can't take this pain anymore of getting like the worst spots ever, but like I just think she's just gonna muck it. There's really nothing.
So the
else
idea
she
is
can
there's
do.
no really free chips for her to win by shoving, because she still
That's
has
not
to
true.
outrun Scott.
That's
Okay.
not true. Yeah, she does. He has to outrun Scott, but Antonio's chips would be in there dead if he folds.
Right. And the problem
so
is,
it's a reasonable play in my opinion.
Fold.
I didn't like my call.
Your range is too strong.
Did not like my call.
That's why I feel that your range is too strong.
I knew I should have just folded. He's never moving in with less.
He's never
That's
moving
not
in with
true.
less.
He's got
Is that
9
true?
blinds. I mean, he is, but like
I
he's
wonder.
never.
That's interesting.
That's not true.
That's an interesting thought. Vanessa seemed to think the same thing.
Oh, I played bad.
Antonio,
If an ace comes, the whole table would be a little sick just
Antonio,
because
you need your Lunkin to
they
stay
could
here.
bust Seaver. Which
Oh, I
would
played
be
so bad.
Antonio's just
Help me out with a little
Look at Seiver.
How
He's
good
been
is he at
quiet.
moaning?
Look at
He's
Seiver
playing,
moping
right?
around, and now he's the Seiver we all know and love. He's happy. He likes his spot. He's got
Just trying to help him out.
176,000 is like a million. Yeah, moan it in. He's gonna moan it in. That went solemn.
Yeah, he's a little less enthusiastic. He was kind of chirpy, and now he's like, all right, please just hold.
Antonio upset about this, although I don't really see it.
Oh,
Good luck, guys.
your coat, Johnny.
Wow. Double bagel for Seiver. That is.
And he has played among the best of all players in the Premier League. I mean, he just has.
Play bad, get lucky. That was a really bad call.
I mean, he just has. Like, I mean, he has just played super. Play great, run bad, and like Scott Seiver, the double bagel. Is he out of the Premier League? Not yet.
No, not at all.
Not yet. He had a big second, and he could probably, you know, he might.
The second,
4,000.
I think top 3 might get him into the playoffs. Personally,
3 now.
8,000.
Seiver is going to have to watch from the sidelines now. He's back in action in the last heat. By then, he'll know exactly what he needs to do. Going to be tough now for Duhamel, seriously low in chips, and clinging on whilst Esfandiari runs them all over.
Second, just to get in there.
I mean, Seiver's really going to be watching. I mean, like, he would love Duhamel to not do well here. I mean, Duhamel and Selbst, it's pretty huge for them. I mean, at this point, he almost wants Antonio to win.
Phil,
if there's any good news for Seiver, go ahead. And well, it just things are going to start happening. It's the 4 players who play in Heat 5 but don't play in Heat 6. They have to post a score. And at least Seiver's only playing Heat 6, so he'll know what score he has
to. So he'll know, which is the good news for him.
It's tough to post a score.
18,000.
Phil is one of those guys. Phil's last heat is Heat 5.
Yeah.
So Phil is under some pressure to get points because he's not going to know what to do.
Score. Yeah.
You know, Phil...
You notice now here in Heat 4, for the first time, there's actively people with the sheets and the
18,000
totals
call?
out at the table. I've seen 2 or 3 people
Oh,
like
yeah.
chalking in stuff. And
everyone will
Call.
have them starting now.
for sure.
3 players in the hand.
Wow. That was... Wow, Seiver just had some... He's just had some negative karma, I guess.
Check. Check.
Antonio's just not looking good for Seiver.
People should know better than trying to outrun a man who's won 18 million in one tournament. I mean,
Check.
he just... wins.
Wow, great card for Vanessa. She
check.
Makes top pair.
She might check
better.
No, she'll probably. What's Antonio thinking about repping this?
Antonio's got a little double gutter.
Check.
But
little semi pump fake, this ever so slightest pump fake bet, nothing over dramatic, but
I mean, I could see Vanessa.
I could see her doing two things. Not full.
Yeah, me too.
I think no, I mean size-wise.
I mean, she's just trying to decide right now if she can really get value here, you know, or if it's really kind of just more for protection. I mean, it is hard for her to get value. You know, maybe like Queen Jack, some 10 King might like call with like
34,000
draws.
Fold.
So, but not a lot of value. It's not a great spot.
Fold.
So that's why she's thinking about whether to check or bet. But I mean, she's pretty confident she has the best hand. You know, most of the time, the question is how many hands are going to call you.
I learned that from
Antonio, never give up. Antonio's over the 900K mark, by the way. He has double second.
Yeah, Antonio's starting to run away with
please.
it.
Under the heading of who at the table was Seiver's elimination the best for, is Duhamel, is he the biggest candidate? Because now he can be a little bit slingy with his chips, and also
I think
he's going to be guaranteed to be ahead of Seiver when this is over.
Yeah, at least tied.
Big blind.
I mean, if he goes out now, he's tied with Seiver.
Big blind 33.
Probably also good
Big
for
blind,
guys
please.
like the Jungleman who are mid-pack.
Big blind.
And maybe Colman.
Big blind.
Yeah, Colman,
8,000.
I think you're going to see, I mean, Colman.
Fold.
I mean, these guys right in the middle going out, it's almost like good for everyone because that means they're not chasing the guys above them, and it gives a target for the guys below
17,000.
them. So,
yeah.
Here's an awkward spot.
Nobody said hard luck Scott on
Fold.
his way out.
yeah.
Fold.
Well, he did. I mean, no one had a chance. He was out the door before
Fold.
they dragged the cards in, and as I would be too. I mean, yeah, I think he's fair to say ran the
He got the
worst out of
aces.
anyone.
He got the aces. He got the set of aces cracked, and
by
the
the
kings
4 deuce
with the double.
Kings cracked by 7s. I mean, he's
Call
sitting there
17.
He's just wondering how this is like. Is this guy
Heads
real?
up.
Laak flatting the 10 deuce spades. Is this correct? Versus Antonio, just hate it.
He just had a really, really hard look at the
Check.
at the standings and
If
realized
Antonio could see his hand, he would just check this back.
He might check
Check.
it back.
he'd start laughing and then he'd check.
I think he's checking back.
It's a
yeah.
reasonable spot to check back. So, I mean, maybe even the
He doesn't want to give
Check.
Phil any free chips. Also, like he likes his hand a lot, and then he's got the heart back door, which didn't whatever.
Check.
And Antonio's just not making any wrong decisions. And now he may even get Phil to bluff at it.
I think actually, weirdly enough, with 10 high, Phil probably won't.
Check.
Yeah.
I mean, just because
Antonio's gonna bet
he's
really
not going to
small
get like
there.
a queen or jack to fold. And
What do you think Antonio bets like 14,000? He's gonna bet super
he's
small.
gonna bet. He'll
Super
probably
small.
bet like 20.
40,000.
Goes for a block. Actually, he's not really trying to induce Phil to do something
Yeah,
crazy. So
he's
that
just
makes
trying
more
to
sense.
trying to get a lot of value out of like a jack. But I mean, Phil Laak is thinking about calling with 10 high. This would be a terrible call.
He's not thinking about calling. He's thinking about raising.
Why would it be a terrible call?
How can he raise? He triple check something and can somehow raise?
He's not calling.
Why? Because
I'll give
I
you
just don't
huge-
see.
I'll
If
give you the
Antonio
biggest- how
had
much-
air, he's not gonna just check it down. I think
How about this?
Antonio
I'll
would
give
see
you
bet air on
I'll
that
give you
flop.
10-1. He doesn't call.
Gotta have to be willing to fold the best hand from time to time.
Well, I don't think he's gonna call either.
Yeah, I mean, it's like especially in the store.
I mean, he's just posturing, but a call would be bad. I mean, I think Phil plays pretty well usually, so.
But Antonio's opening on the gun, like he's just not calling ever. Ever.
I mean,
it's like
most of
60 to
Antonio's
1.
air he's betting the flop with, like 7-8. Like, why would he just check that?
8-9 of spades. Like almost 84%.
He's the best ever. Gives it
Crushing 8-9 of spades.
Well, now
Show 8-9 of spades.
we got a little glimpse in. We got a little glimpse into Phil Laak's head that he called it the 10-deuce spade, thinking he had Antonio overflushed. He had him on the exact 9 of the spades. Is what I
Jungle.
called. Pre-flop. And then
Did he have 9 high or 8 high or something? He could have had a hand.
I mean, I have to say, Phil has been playing very bad against Antonio. I don't know what it is, but Phil has just been basically playing fine against most everyone on the table, but just
You still have
I'm just calling with a lot of bad hands out of position to Antonio, trying bluffs that don't make sense.
He single-handedly got Antonio kickstarted there. He king-high bluffed when Antonio had the flush, like for 80,000, 100,000, put him up to 400 right away, and he hasn't looked back. As much as I love Mizzi, I can't root for him.
Fold.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say between Vanessa and Colman. I feel like Vanessa's been a little off today so far in a couple pots. Just her timing and her read on the situation. And I'm not sure confidence-wise if she's 100% there, but
right when she's at her best, she kind of inspires fear when you're in a
I would like to think this is
not scared of her right now, are you?
I would like to think this is pocket nines for Phil, but based on previous play, it could be 9-6 suited through 9-queen suited or anything.
9-jack offsuit.
I mean, he should have something strong because he's supposed to know that Colman can just 3-bet, with the shizzle. I mean,
call 17.
Wow, so this is a spot where Colman is thinking about 3-betting. I mean, it's a little weak. Honestly, if he had the 10-5 suited that time, it might have gone up. But 9-deuce offsuit, I mean, everybody has standards.
Wow, Phil's going to hate this spot.
Great Phil.
So, do you think we're going to play?
See one of Phil's
flush
He's got to have 9-10. He has to have 9-10 or 9.
But it's probably a good flop for Phil.
He's definitely. Oh, God. Dear God. That couldn't have been a more funny card.
They popped
to put up. That's got to be a suited.
But this also could be the worst.
So Antonio just leads.
This could be the worst pre-flop
Antonio's
raise of
position,
all time.
doesn't he? Oh, he doesn't.
And Antonio with a great lead, sort of, because Phil has nothing. And what is Phil doing?
It is the worst pre-flop raise ever.
I mean, Duhamel's in position. We're going to shove.
Coleman's big blind for crying out loud.
It's not even about that. Like, Duhamel is next to go out, is just going to shove correctly on the button.
Yeah,
and then Antonio and Colman are like the two players who aren't going to get pushed around. I mean, Antonio has all the chips.
That is the worst open of the Premier League. No question. Based on a lot of things, not just the hole cards. It's irrelevant that there was that bad of a hole card. But.
So what is going on?
Right there's fine. Thank you.
I have the exact same thing. My name is Phil Laak, and sometimes they call me the Unabomber. And that's my intro. Because the rules are very simple. Everyone knows the rules. And now it's psychological and mathematical warfare. It's like a blend. I've done 4 Premier Leagues, and over time the formats morphed and changed a little bit. I love the 21 hands, the blinds go up. I love the 8-handed, I love the point system. And this year, I really love how they're mixing up the players. You get like a lot of whoosh, whoosh. So like when you make pancakes, you want to mix the batter to get a good pancake. So I think we're going to get a better pancake here. We're mixing the batter, you know? I expect to have a good time. I expect to do my best, and I won't be surprised if I make some blunders along the way.
You're watching the Party Poker Premier League, where Scott Seiver has just left the table in 8th spot, and the former champion is in serious trouble in the league. Time to get back to the table.
Trying to be a natural.
Antonio's over the 900K mark, by the way. He has double second.
Yeah, Antonio's starting to run away.
Under the heading of who at the table was Seiver's elimination the best for? Duhamel, is he the biggest candidate? Because now he can be a little bit slingy with his chips, and also
I think
he's going to be guaranteed to be ahead of Seiver when this is over.
Yeah, at least tied with him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he goes out now, he's tied with Seiver.
Jungleman going with the min raise, even though he's super short, trying to look super strong. This is an interesting spot for Vanessa. Like, this is one of those hands. Which is,
I mean, Jungleman's been playing very tight. If I'm Vanessa here, I'm just folding. Yeah.
It sucks. It's suited. It's almost just too
Jungleman
good.
has, I think, been the tightest person at the table so far.
Here's the problem: the fold too. Like, she's not calling ace-4 clubs against a guy with 300K who could double her up. I mean, she's like calling to try to like get his 100,000. Like, and it's just wrong.
I don't like it. Also, Jungle's been, well, she's going to win this one. But, I mean, Jungle's been playing like kind of the tightest at this table. I mean, we've seen him muck a lot of hands.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I liked it. It shows Jungleman's versatile, and he came in with a strategy, which is, you can see as Vanessa defends the ace-4, people think he's just super nuts. So like his strategy was to play super tight. He got unlucky. He didn't have big hands.
Yeah, he's
if he
gotten
had
pretty
big
unlucky.
hands,
He would have more chips.
Worked a lot better, but he's just not had anything.
Very strange, Vanessa. Very strange.
Thought your range was stronger than it was, I guess.
I thought your range was strong too.
Sorry, you said there was 6 hands left after this.
It was
hand?
pretty strong.
I couldn't think of anything.
This is like kind of nerd poker pickups.
What'd you say?
I couldn't think of anything
I
that
thought
you
your range was
2,000,
strong, baby. Thought your range was strong. Let's see what's going on my Range Rover.
Was he quoting a movie line there? You know, in that voice? Was that like from Young Frankenstein or something? I don't know.
We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but I'm big.
We're just happy to be here, being able to see this.
Very strange, Vanessa.
Very strange. Yeah, Jungle, I just thought you had a big range.
Uh-oh, what's Phil up to? He's just getting rid of the ace-7, all right.
Fold.
He will fold the ace-7 off, but the 9-4 off is like an auto-open for him.
Dude, I'm telling you, Phil, it's like the moodiest, weird thing. Who knows what's going on? It makes him, honestly, I really think Phil is like one of the toughest players in the world to play against in a lot of spots, because it's just like, does he even know what he's doing? Like, I don't know.
Like, it's not confirmed. I think yes, based on results over 10 years or so, but like,
no, I mean, there's a method, but whatever it is, it's like it's randomized. You know
what I mean? Yeah.
He's randomized it.
Here's Jungle defends the ace-7 off with Antonio's opening. How much he's opening? I think it's an easy ship or fold, and he flats and sure enough gets out flopped, and now is just gonna check fold, I guess. I don't know. Or is he check raising all in? Maybe that's his plan, which won't work.
No, he can't check raise.
I know.
I think Jungle wants to ladder a little bit. I think Jungle needs to ladder a little
check
bit.
back. I kind of like Antonio's check back here.
Yeah, in his mind, he's like, I don't want to see an ace or a king, and I'm pretty safe other than that.
Yeah.
Check.
Try to get a little value.
Maybe it's a Jack-10 here.
22,000.
Yeah, well, this is
just torture.
Jungle obviously frustrated that he never makes a hand. It's kind of true. The guy has not made a hand all day.
Some muttering going on there.
9-7 suited?
I don't know what he's calling with the ace-7 off. He's ace and then like not know if he's good or not and like get it in.
I don't know. I don't think he wants. I think he thinks like he needs a ladder a little bit.
Yeah, then fold.
Well, he doesn't like, you know, it's like
I'd probably just bet.
rock in a hard place. He can't fold his big blind, and he can't shove.
What's Mizzi's goal right now? I mean, I guess he's trying to get
Small
top
blind,
5.
big
Like
blind.
he's just folding out. Like this is a little disappointed that one hand was a turning point. The
Big blind.
Jack-9 of clubs for the Miz. I mean, he has a bunch of points. He was in the best shape out of this whole heat. Him and Colman, and you know he hasn't really been able to assert himself. He chose a Jack-9 under the gun.
They're the guys who want to ladder most. Mizzi,
Right.
Cates, Colman, ladder.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now, Mizzi hasn't been getting hands either. I mean, some of it, too, is at some point, I mean, the cards still, we are playing a Premier League, there's points, but you also get 2 cards. I mean, you're also playing a game of Texas Hold'em, so, I mean, at some point, you can only do so much. You're not getting a guy to fold aces at this point in the Premier League or anything, so.
Vanessa instinctually wants to pop it, but it's just going on. You know what? I'm gonna sit back. My stack's healthy. Like I'm gonna. It hurts me, but I'm gonna try to like play sit and go, like optimal.
Phil,
let people go out.
Is Phil really? This would be bad. This would just be
can't
bad.
take it.
Call. Phil, what are you doing?
I'm gonna come in with 0 overs. And
no, well, let's say he doesn't know Antonio's hand, but he's just defending 6-4 suited with 25 bigs out of position.
Here. No, just nothing.
Oh, there you go, Phil. There's the flop. Didn't help. What are you gonna do?
It's hard to make a pair, Phil. You know that as well as anyone. Is he gifting it? If some people could, it's just like, what is going on?
20,000.
Well,
I don't even. Here's the thing. I don't mind gambling now and then. I mean, I do it. I've peeled some, whatever, defended my big blind. The thing is that Phil's it's like every time he gets a chance, he's doing it. I mean, he's doing it with the 10 deuce suited, the 6-4 suited. He's opening 9-4 offsuit. Like, I don't even, at this point, what hands are Phil folding?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, in that particular spot, I mean, I don't know. He actually doesn't need to ladder. Laddering is actually not really that beneficial to Phil Laak right now.
Oh yeah, which is part of why he's doing it.
Right. So he's figured that out.
But like, it's just bad. I mean, if he's gonna play like that,
he should just be jamming.
Yeah, if he's playing like that, he should be bombing.
He can have a really interesting strategy, just like with the
By the way, what he did in that other heat when versus I was in that heat, whichever one it was, the first or second one.
When he started bombing, it was
when
great.
He just started like he just woke up and was started making these giant raises and stuff.
I think for him, bombing right now would be really effective. It'd be super effective.
Yeah, calling out of position with these 6 high is not dangerous.
Like,
it's just
not dangerous.
He would put a lot of people under pressure with if he was bombing right now.
17,000.
He's got 200K. It'll hurt anybody.
And Antonio,
Except
like
for
we expected,
Antonio.
just turning on the heat. By the way, this is kind of what Mizzi should have done yesterday.
Right.
I mean, just opening. I mean, Mizzi was passing up some of these like Jack 10s under the gun, but the truth is, in this spot, it's like, why pass it up unless you run into big hands?
All right, now this is a perfect
spot.
spot.
Now, see, this is exactly where you should bomb.
That was a good
perfect spot.
to
Not
bomb.
even just because you can see the cards, but because Antonio's opening almost any two. He's opening.
There was also extra money in the pot, right? It was a raise and a call.
I mean, Selbst calling a position. Selbst almost never has like a true tier 1 hand. I mean, she could have a good hand, but I mean, Selbst isn't going to call 200K with like 9s.
Also, those are the people he wants to take on. Like, he wants chips from them rather than the big stacks.
Check.
I mean, yeah, that was a great hand to pile right there. Just stuff it in. And
Antonio making a bet here, figuring they can't continue without a king.
Raise to 54,000.
So she's made a decision there about how to react to all possible things Antonio can do now. Is she going to have to raise to get it in there, or is it sort of raise to reevaluate?
If you raise this, I don't like this play for what it's worth. Because if you raise, I mean, you're just in a really bad spot if you get re-raised.
And this is kind of funny, isn't it? Because this is the same play she did with the ace-3 suited, where it's like she shouldn't have a pair of kings here. She should have a big flush draw or something like that.
In Antonio's mind, he probably doesn't think she's raising king jack or king queen because he wouldn't.
Nobody would.
Right, so it's almost interesting in that sense. But like, this is a perfect spot, and I think he's going to think that like really like this.
I think he's going to let this go.
Yeah, he should.
The problem is that. And I think Antonio wants to make a move here, and he might. But the problem is that literally he has like nothing. Like nothing. If he even had like ace-5, he might do it.
Vanessa takes down another pot. Over $500,000 in chips now, and back into second place.
Vanessa's a beast. I mean, she's one of those people that you just don't want to play pot with because you don't know what she has. And she's capable of anything, and she's always putting you to the test.
They're not much of a hand.
Of course, she's completely unpredictable, so you have to be a little careful with Vanessa.
Very smart, and she can adjust to a lot of situations, so definitely got to bring your A game against her.
Always level myself against you.
If there was one word to describe Vanessa Selbst, it would be fierce.
It's nice, nigga.
She is just absolutely ruthless in poker. She just keeps coming at you and coming and coming. She's so much pressure and so confident in herself and never afraid to pull the trigger. She's one of the brightest people in the game and one of the poker players I admire most.
How sick are you in the head?
Vanessa Selbst is a nut. She's crazy. She just is absolute beast at the table. Many people call Vanessa Selbst the best female poker player on the planet, and I think that's a huge disservice to her. She's just one of the best poker players on the planet, period.
I think Phil's going to win this heat.
I hope so. That would be the best case scenario of all time. I want Phil first.
You don't care what happens. You've got 25 points.
Yeah. No, it's still fun to root. I got some. I mean, there is better outcomes than others.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say between Vanessa and Colman. I feel like Vanessa's been a little off today so far in a couple pots. I'm not sure confidence-wise if she's 100% there. But
Right, when she's at her best, she kind of inspires fear when you're in a pot with her. And you're not scared of her right now, are you? Phil Laak. He just folded the king jack just because
Well,
there was something in his knapsack.
he knew queens was to his left. I mean,
There's an open under the gun.
if hands are too good, he can't play them. It's the Phil Laak handicap he gives to the rest of the players.
Look at Duhamel, wakes up with top of his range and giving a little treatment.
and he's got about 4 chips, and he's going to put them in.
And now Vanessa, this is just annoying.
It is, because she's going
to have to call. And considering Phil folded a king and Daniel folded a king,
oh wow,
pretty safe. I hope they both say they had a king, which they should never do. But like, she's already going to be upset. This is big for Duhamel. He likes it, but like he knows he loses this pot. He's in dire straits for the rest of the night.
That's a pretty big one.
He's become a master of going down to the nubbins and
he just
coming back up.
Duhamel just he's sticky.
He's a survivor. It feels like Mizzi too. He's gonna get it in good probably or in a flip, and then
a 10. There's still some of those out there.
There's available 10s.
Will normal service resume?
Oh wow, 4 across.
That is not what Mizzi likes seeing, or Phil, or anyone really. But
everybody's rooting for you.
You
were?
I was rooting for you, actually.
Mom liked it, Mrs. Duhamel.
Yeah, she's like, that's how I would have played those.
That's all right. That's all right.
79.
Jonathan Duhamel, 2010 World Series of Poker main event champion. Winning the main event just changed everything. It changed my poker career, changed the way I was living. Now I just started traveling all around the world, playing all those big tournaments and compete against the best in the world. Well, it's fun to be out there and play against, the best of the best. Also now we're in Montreal, so just another motivation for me to go out there and try to win it. It's definitely a very tough lineup over there. A lot of very good, talented players. So we're all gonna bring our A game and gonna need a little bit of luck, and hopefully you're gonna see me on the final table.
Buckle up, baby, because we're going to war.
In your eye, David, you arrogant guy. You think you can angle me? You just got so pwned, it's a joke.
I want the limo, I'm ready to go, I don't want to hang out.
I wish I went to bed earlier.
I wish I was richer and younger.
Turn an ace to end this race, yo.
None of you here have any heart. Believe me, I've been watching you guys. It's embarrassing.
I'm not going to listen to Tony anyway. He clearly has no idea what he's doing.
Come on, let's go!
Oh God, come on.
Eat some of that.
The world doesn't understand it. All they see is all the bracelets. That's all they see.
Every tournament should be like this.
It's just like actual cheating at this point.
You're an idiot.
It must be good. It's good. It's good, and that's what I'm talking about. I waited, I trapped him, I checked behind, I 3-bet, I did everything right. And if it's a jack or a 10, something's game broken.
Bark, 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 bark.
Am I getting out of line? Give me a warning.
This is the best show in poker.
Great memories and some of poker's biggest names taking part in the Premier League over the years. And now, Season 7 is here at the Playground Club in Montreal. It's poker's most winningest player, Antonio Esfandiari. Well out in front in this heat, he's sitting with nearly $1 million.
17,000.
Nice open Antonio. Found 2 cards, pretty connected, gonna play it.
He is teaching Sorel Mizzi how to play the big stack right now.
I mean, and to be fair, Antonio's had not nearly as many big hands as Mizzi. I mean, we haven't seen him flopping full houses. I mean, he's got winning a pot with a pair of 6s and just opening and taking more pots. I mean, he's kind of doing it the hard way, so to speak.
And Jungleman's wondering, why did I get all dressed up?
Fold.
That was a perfect spot to make a loose defense. Like, based on all the other defenses he's made.
Who, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to make all those other defenses, that was not a bad loose defense. I mean, against Antonio, and maybe, am I thinking about it wrong?
Check.
Yeah. Wow, and here Vanessa, who flats with the 8-9 suited, looking for many flops other than this, even though she catches a pair, decides to check back and now loses the lead in the hand.
21,000.
She just might pitch this. You think she comes along or just gets rid of it?
Yeah, I think she's trying to decide on the flop. How likely was it that he checked back and checked the value hand to her, or I think she might think right now, Queen Jack, King Queen. I think maybe her 8's good. It's a tough spot. Yeah. I don't hate her call. I mean, by the same token that Antonio has Queen 10, he could easily have Jack 9, Queen Jack, all those like gutter hands, you know. Yeah. So
and she looks like she could still have an ace here as well to him, right?
It looks like she could have an ace. That's kind of the top of her range
Check.
there. Mizzi will go check. She'll be happy to check this back.
Yeah. She's gonna be a little frustrated by that, but
she's gotten bad runouts. It is true she's gotten bad runouts.
Yeah, she's showing she's willing to play pots, and she's at 400, but like she was at 600, and I mean she knows those pots are important right there. They add up.
I do feel though that she's letting herself down a little bit by letting all the other players know how frustrated she is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way it's a positive thing to let everyone else at the table know that she's frustrated. Is there? I mean.
No, I mean, if you see that somebody's frustrated and you're at the poker table, I mean, you generally feel kind of good about that, and sometimes it can give you a little insight into things they might do or be more likely to do. But you know, I haven't played enough with Vanessa to know if her being frustrated really. I know by reputation she can oftentimes kind of show frustration in a number of spots, and I've seen it before. So yeah, but that doesn't mean necessarily that she lets it affect her play a lot. But you know, I don't know. Maybe she does. If she does, then definitely she needs to work on it.
So Dan Colman under the gun here, King Queen suited, and he's actually having a bit of a think about it. Is there something to think about here?
C6 raise 24,000.
Okay, he still goes with the min raise.
Fold.
I mean, I think he's got to open this hand.
Fold.
You know, you've got to pick up chips now and then, and this hand is strong enough. I know Dan Coleman's general strategy right now is going to be to kind of just coast and try to get a high spot and keep on, you know, accumulating points to make the final table, not just the heads up.
Well, this is probably what he was thinking about, because this is what Mizzi wasn't doing. And that's exactly, it's about when you raise the chip leader's big blind, and the big smile is because, and this is what Mizzi doesn't do, which Esfandiari does.
Whoa!
Oh! 6 free raise.
Whoa! Did not see this coming.
So Dan, I mean,
he thought about it.
Yeah.
And he had a plan for this, and now he's going to execute it.
Mr. Colman.
You're not going to waste our time, are you? You have a real decision here?
Mr. Coleman. I really don't care.
You really don't care?
I don't care.
He has to send the message to Antonio now, because if he didn't, then Antonio is going to do it every time.
I made a bad shove, but I just don't want you, you know. I just want to take chips from you.
That's a beautiful play by Dan Coleman, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if Antonio even calls with Ace King there. I guess he had, I mean, there's so much. Like
no, I think Antonio probably calls with Ace King, but I mean, you know, Jack plays Ace King. The thing is, this Antonio doesn't have those hands that often.
At Ace King suited?
Yeah.
How much you want to bet at Ace King suited?
Yeah. No, I need change.
I'll bet you 2,000.
Antonio,
you want to bet?
I need change for this.
Okay. Offers up.
Antonio did offer 2,000. I think not just to Selbst, but to anybody. It felt like
he thinks the chances that I'll take the bet on an implied free roll is less than the possibility.
Right, so it's an insurance. He's allowed to lay that insurance, yeah.
Like he thinks the value of us thinking about Ace Queen is higher than the chance I'll take the bet with him.
Yep, he's done all the math. It's a magician. He's working hard, you know.
Exactly.
He solved the riddle already.
Exactly.
Fold.
There you go.
C1 all in.
Oh, I thought he folded. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, what is he waiting for at this point? Wow.
Wow, Phil's got.
Phil has a hand. He would have been opening, maybe even just shoving if it had folded to him. But now, I
mean, Phil would love to bust Jungleman. I mean, love to see Jungleman go out. Doesn't want to see Jungleman basically almost double up by getting this through.
I am a little surprised with people behind him.
I like this play by Phil.
I like it too.
I like it too. Jungleman has so few chips. It's a good chance for him to gamble to try to not only bust Jungleman but win the blinds and antes and
also he knows if he loses he still has like 120. There's a ton of dead money in there. The antes, the big blind, small blind. No one's gonna call it out. Even the ace queen five fold.
And Phil's got to accumulate chips. I mean, he can't shoot for like a fifth or sixth.
Everyone's rooting for you.
Jungleman. He can't. He doesn't understand.
He doesn't.
What am I supposed to do? I got to try and get a hand.
The two beautiful minds at the table. Oh, it's a good flop for the jungle.
Well, Jungle is not feeling it. Let's see what the deck thinks.
Well, the deck is pretty friendly.
The all-ins jungle.
Oh, I'm feeling the pain on this one. got the 6 out.
Bluffing on the river, not so friendly for jungle.
Oh,
man.
There's the river. Jungle is not a happy camper.
Taxi for the jungle.
There will be no exit interview from the jungle.
Well, he has not had a good day on the felt.
It just feels like it's hard to get a hand.
Guys, it'll be really interesting to see what his tactics are in heat number 5. I think he's going to be under serious pressure.
I need so much. I need other people to lose. I need to win. I need really to just go, you know.
Great news for Sorel, Mizzi, and Jonathan Duhamel, both, obviously.
Wow, so 2 of the middling points out the first in Scott and Jungleman. This is going to create separation at the top as Dan and Sorel are going to leap up closer to Jeff, and you know, a little bunching of low points are going to jump up to the middle. So this is going to be a very interesting outcome.
And Brian, it's quite interesting for you as well because you're going to be playing against the Jungleman with a game in hand in heat number 5. And if you post a score well above him, you know, you're going to be in great shape actually to leapfrog him in a sense.
Well, I mean, I do have a chance if Jungleman goes out one of the first 2 spots in the next heat, and I post a good score, but as of right now, he has 17 points and I have 6. So.
Oh, wow.
And Colman, who's shown
Colman,
that he's not scared to
Is he on the button?
Yeah, he's on the button with aces. What a good spot.
Wow. Let's see if any of the blinds have anything.
So he opens up to, what is that, 24?
So this is pretty much the end of Vanessa's Premier League.
Oh my God, how many blinds does she have? This might just be unavoidable. 400. She still has.
You know what?
She has like 35 blinds.
She could decide just to call here, and I actually wouldn't hate it.
Oh,
just to
did
she go all in?
Oh man. Oh, she's gonna feel so sick.
Wow.
And it's interesting, Brian. I mean, you said that was that hand bait.
Look at Colman.
Strategically, because the thing is that like this is kind of one of the people that can bust her, and I don't know. I mean, Mizzi's about to go out, and Laak and Duhamel have half as many chips as her.
I mean, arguably, I guess I could flat, but
nah, it's just super bad luck.
It's really hard.
I'm so tilted right now. It's just been the biggest joke of the day.
This is an amazing result.
Best result for you, worst for me.
I mean, Selbst was like on pace for a great showing, and she's about to get only 3 points.
This is incredible. Yep. And obviously not just you. Phil Laak has had the most incredible 4 hands of his poker career. And Vanessa, has she got 9 now in the clubhouse?
But 3 done, 3 down.
Incredible.
Waking up with aces.
I mean, the truth is that when she shoves there, she is really only getting called by a few hands. So, I mean, her fold equity is huge.
Right.
But,
he had one of them. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Phil Laak all of a sudden on pace for not a score that could get him out of the jungle.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Phil is...
look, he's looking. He can't believe what just happened to him.
Phil right now Mizzi's low. I mean, what Phil needs to do is just
Mizzi, do you know how much you have?
Tighten up and just let Mizzi, something happen with Mizzi. I mean, Mizzi has a lot of potential to bust here. He's got, you know, what is that? It's like not even 10 big blinds, like
but actually,
8 big blinds.
I mean, Phil's much more concerned about Duhamel. Duhamel's only got 10. Mizzi's over 20.
I think for Phil to stay competitive, he needs to get at least 4th. Wow, Duhamel has 2 kings. It's a big hand.
Suit 4 raise, 24,000.
Wow. I don't know. The way this was going, I feel a queen coming.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, this is certainly going to get in.
And, I mean, Antonio has a big hand here.
He's got a 3-bet, right?
Suit 5 re-raise, 50,000.
Super small.
Wow, this is a cool. Oh my goodness, man! What is Colman doing?
Well, he's liable.
So Colman just shoved the king queen.
Yes, he did.
He might ship it. He's gonna ship it how he plays.
Tactically, is this slightly different?
Watch,
I mean,
watch
now
what he
he's
does.
up to 900K. He might not ship.
He's gonna make a huge
4-bet.
He's not flatting.
No.
He's gonna raise big here. I've seen him ship stuff like this with weakish hands.
I mean,
he's laughing because he thinks he's got the nuts. They're 5-handed. Like he knows Duhamel. Like he
just saw Vanessa get crushed. Take his hand and situation in a vacuum. I mean,
well, hold on a second. If he ships it,
Oh wow,
Wow,
he's just
folding.
does it. He's playing. He's just
Yeah, he's
really
playing
doing
his-
it.
He's just
chips.
good. He's just good.
He is just good.
I mean, that's ridiculous how good he is.
I mean, to be honest, it's the best. He can't call.
Coleman has really played great. I mean, let's give the guy credit.
Yeah.
He just shipped the king queen and
it was right, and he's right here.
And now he just got away from tens.
And you know what? He's going to get to do the fist pump victory dance because both these hands are getting turned over.
Yeah, you'll see some emotion from him. He's going to be very happy.
All in, call.
All in, call.
And Antonio's going to be a little shell shocked here. Yeah.
Genius fold.
Genius fold, he said it is.
Antonio might have to see a little adversity today. He's had everything just steady go his way.
I thought you were coming. I had tens.
And everyone's like, no way, dude.
I wonder if he ships it and Jonathan calls Antonio to fold it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Antonio's obviously folding.
But still,
he's not ahead of Duhamel.
Right,
so.
exactly. So it wouldn't even matter.
Well, Antonio can survive this for sure. I mean,
what about a 10 ball?
Oh
just
man,
just to make Coleman sick.
Coleman sick and a sweat.
Stop, don't do this. Don't do this, man. Oh wow. Gee, oh wow.
There you go. You can't win. Nice hand.
Oh my god. You just did that.
Antonio's doing the chip count out.
I was about to win, I'm gonna lose.
That's a pretty secure card.
Wow, this is a big pot for Duhamel. A very, very bad outcome for Phil.
Get it over with. Come on.
Do it.
Step left. Also, I mean, if Antonio starts falling off, well, okay. I mean, he's still going to have, what, 750, so, I mean, he's still got plenty of chips, but
yeah,
he's in a new spot now, because for a while, I mean, he was the massive chip leader with no one, and now, I mean, Colman has more chips than him, and position. So, I mean, Antonio, and Colman can really mess with Antonio, because Coleman's in such a good spot. Like, Colman has a ton of points.
And he's got position.
I mean, Antonio has really got to tighten up.
Disaster for Vanessa Selbst. Just 3 points in this one. She'll stay in the elimination zone, and even if she wins her last match, the best she can hope for is to make the heads up. Phil Laak and Duhamel, meantime, are rubbing their hands together in glee. They really need to score big in this one.
Next time at the Playground Poker Club, Heat 4 continues and the pressure for points mounts here at the Party Poker Premier League.
Don't do this. Come on, don't do this, man.
It's Phil Laak. I can't help myself, you know.
The problem is I might be playing dirty.
Are you kidding me?
I was about to win, I'm gonna lose.
Wow, you're so sick. I mean, wow.